Hello, I'm Halen, and I'm here again with yet another art supply review from the lovely people over at ArrtX. They've sent me a 48 set of Simptap markers to try out with their A4 sketchbook, so let's go ahead and open these bad boys up. As you can see, the package arrived a bit banged up, but since the marker case itself was fine, I don't really mind. And for those of you who are new here, I actually have reviewed other ArrtX acrylic markers in the past, but these ones are a little bit different. These Simptap markers actually need to be activated unlike the other ones, which I'll get into a little bit more later. Look how cute the marker box is! The color palette is adorable! Oh my goodness! And this sketchbook is huge and bright green, which is not really my color, but maybe one of you guys might like that. Let's take a peek at what colors are included in this set on the box. I know it said that there are 48 colors in this, but I'm somehow always shocked by the sheer amount of colors in these. It looks like a pretty good selection of colors so far too. Now that we saw what the colors are supposed to look like on the box, it's time to swatch them on the paper we will be drawing on today. All of these markers take quite some time to get up and running since they all have to be shaken and pumped individually as shown in this little instruction thing included in the marker box. It took me so long to swatch all of the colors, I decided not to record the progress. So here's just a little video of all of the colors swatched for you. All of the colors are super opaque and saturated as well, and the set even includes a gold and silver color, which I think is pretty cool. Now that we know what they all look like, it's time to try them out in a drawing. I want to spice things up a little bit, so I'm going to be doing a 3-marker challenge. Let's go ahead and pick some out. And you're just going to have to trust me when I say my eyes were closed for this bit. I did not do my makeup or get dressed, so no face cam today. Let's see. We got a yellow, a blue, and a purple. I have an idea for a character that I want to draw already since I've been kind of obsessed with him lately, so let's go ahead and get started. For this drawing, I wanted to do an original character, and the original character that I went with is this dog boy called Lemon. His design is very yellow since he's based on a golden retriever, so I'm very excited that I happened to pull a yellow for this 3-color challenge. I want to save my yapping about Lemon as a character for a bit later, since we all know what you're really here for, which is the marker review. Okay, so my first impressions were that the box is really cute, obviously. ArrtX always goes crazy with the designs of their packaging. About the markers themselves, though, my first impression was honestly kind of mixed. I'm pretty glad these ones are actually labeled, and I didn't have to go and put the stickers on myself like I had to with the other ArrtX acrylic markers. But good God, I'd be lying if I said the hour that I spent activating every single marker wasn't extremely tedious, and had my thumb aching in pain by the end of it too. I do understand why the Simptap markers function differently with the push thing on the end, because when using them, I found them so much more dependable than the other ones. Both of the markers tend to dry out pretty easily, but the key difference is that it is insanely easy to get the Simptap ones to start dripping with paint again, and that's with the button and shake method that's used to activate them in the first place. The other markers are really hard to get working again once they've dried out, and to be honest, I've yet to find a way to get them to be just as juicy as the day I started using them. Although it is worth mentioning, I haven't really tried all that hard. But these Simptap markers work good as new with just the shake of a button. So TLDR on the markers. Very tedious and somewhat painful to get activated, but very much worth it for how easy it is to make them wet again. And about the sketchbook, I think it's super nice for these markers and maybe other wet media like watercolor or dry media like pencil sketching specifically. I really like that it's book bound and it's made to lie completely flat, which gets big bonus points in my book. I feel like more sketchbooks should be made like this because it's just so much more accessible and easy to use this way. The storage pocket at the front is also really nice. I personally shove so much stuff into my sketchbooks that they tend to be more like scrapbooks with drawings instead of just regular sketchbooks. As someone who mainly does alcohol-based marker, though, when it comes to my sketchbooks, I'm not sure I really like the texture of the paper in this. It's too gritty for my liking. I prefer smooth paper, but I think if you enjoy pencil sketching and wet media, that this book might just be perfect for you. If you do end up being interested in any of the supplies that I have reviewed in this video, ArrtX is actually having a Christmas sale where you can use code XMIS10 at checkout and you'll get 10% off your order. There's links and more info in the description if you want to check them out. Okay, now that I've reviewed the supplies, time to be self-indulgent with my ramblings about this character. Like I said, his name is Lemon and he is a dog boy. He was born from a dream my boyfriend had about a dog boy and a wolf boy in love, and ever since he told me about it, I've been really obsessed with them. The story is pretty simple and just for fun, so there isn't really anything too serious about it, except for the plot about a specific part of their relationship I'm not allowed to talk about here, so for now I'll just share the basics. Lemon is a dog boy whose dream is to be an author, but his writing never gained any traction in the industry, despite him having a degree in English. His family's pretty high status in the town he lives in, so they set him up with a cushy blue-collar job at a tax agency thanks to the help of a favor of a family friend who is, this wolf boy's dad. Wolf Boy's name is Tarragon, and he works as the boss of the tax agency and has a dark secret. He's in a metal/rock band. Shenanigans then ensue, with Lemon joining the band as their lead singer/songwriter, finally able to put his writing skills to good use. These two have been completely rotting my brain recently, so I had to show Lemon some love with this drawing. As you can tell, I think that Lemon would absolutely love sweets, so I drew him having a super yummy milkshake, without chocolate of course, since he's just a puppy dog. Lemon and Tarragon's dynamic is just such a fun spin on the cliche boss ex-employee trope in my opinion, and I don't know if you guys have ever had shared OCs before, but it is such a fun way to spend time with your fellow artist/writer friends. I cannot tell you how many hours Arson and I have spent together just yapping about different ways to take their story, or different scenarios both Lemon and Tarragon might find themselves in. It's also super fun just to think about the universe that they live in and the differences between Tara as a wolf and Lemon as a domesticated dog. There's just so many different opportunities for fun dynamics and character designs in the world that Lemon lives in, and bouncing ideas off someone else makes it all the more fun. Okay, now that I got the OC info dump out of my system, I guess I should talk about the drawing. I'm not sure if you saw, but I struggled a lot with the hands in this for some reason. To be honest, I've kind of been struggling with hands in general a lot lately, so I think that it's time that I go back to the drawing board and do some hand studies. I was able to get them eventually for this specific drawing by using references of pictures that I took of my own hands, which just proves how helpful references can be. Do not be afraid to use references, guys. Other than that, the rest of the painting went pretty easily. I laid down the base of yellow and Lemon's hair, and then later on I decided to go in and add a bit of the purple and blue in some places to add a bit more dimension to it. Oh, and also, it's worth mentioning that for some parts of this drawing, I actually used some watercolor pencils I had laying around. Watercolor pencils are really nice to work with paint markers since the water-based paint activates the pencils, and it leads to this really pretty blending of the colors. I know that this is a 3-marker challenge and some people are very strict about the rules of the supplies you can or can't use with a challenge like this, but in my opinion, if I think that a little help from a pencil would make the drawing go from fine to fantastic, then I don't mind a little bit of rule bending. I also want to mention how nicely these markers blend together. When shading this piece with the purple marker on top of the blue, it was incredibly easy to get the two colors to mix together and form a really pretty gradient. You can kind of see it on his sleeve on the hand that's lifting up the spoon. I went over the areas that I used this technique in with my watercolor pencil to add a nice hatching texture near the end of the piece, since it's a stylistic choice I've been really into over the last year or so in my digital art, and I really wanted to see how I could incorporate something that I enjoyed doing in my digital art into my traditional art, and I think it came out pretty cool. Here I am pulling out a white marker, which I know was not included in the 3 markers that I pulled, but is white technically a color? Plus, I only used it to help blend the blue that I was using to shade Lemon's fingers, so I don't think it's too reprehensible. Here I am, adding some finishing touches to the piece. I am a sticker addict, and I think it shows in how I embellish my artwork with cute little doodles all over the sides. I really just can't help myself. Anyways, now that the drawing is finishing up, let's take a look at the finished piece together, There's my Lemon! He turned out so cute! I really think the colors I pulled were perfect for a piece like this. He looks so happy eating his milkshake. I really appreciate everyone who stuck around to watch the process of me working on this drawing, and also thank you to ArrtX for collaborating on yet another video with me. It's always a pleasure to try out y'all's products. If you're interested in seeing more art by both me and the owner of Lemon and Tarragon, links to our art accounts will be in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. It really helps the channel and it means the world to me. And just a reminder, if you're interested in getting any of the products I've reviewed in this video, there's also links in the description to that as well. I hope to see y'all again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!